Hi YouTube, it's Eric, and here's a video on, just sometimes the frustrations and just what you kind of go through on a daily basis when being involved with mental health and mental illness, sobriety, suicide awareness, just everything that I really believe in and am passionate about. And everybody who's subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I do this all out of my free time and just all out of the passion of my heart just to help other people. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the like and subscribe button if you think it's worth it. And so here you go. Here's the frustrations that you can go through when getting into mental health, mental awareness, and you're not a doctor and you're doing this just out of passion to help others. Hey YouTube, 8 months about now is what I have been doing, being extremely active in sobriety, mental health, mental illness, suicide awareness, and I do it all out of my free time, and I really enjoy it. It's really rewarding. I will say this, that man, it is frustrating as hell though sometimes. It's not a full-time job, and so if you do mental health or anything with mental illness or sobriety, you do it out of the goodness of your heart. You just want to help other people, and that's why I always use the saying, people helping people, and you're not really compensated at all for it, and that's all right, and there's nothing wrong with that. One of the things I had done is I had created this YouTube channel about 5-6 months ago, and really thought, oh my goodness, this is gonna blow up, and my God, it is frustrating as hell. I will just say that, there's different programs that you can download, like Video IQ, that'll help you like optimize your videos and everything. But it's really funny because the frustrating part of it all is I can do a video on bringing awareness to the suicide hotline and that you're put on hold, or I can do a video sharing my experiences of Adderall or experiences with, self-harm or cutting or depression. And I can watch a video about a kid playing a video game and watch them just have hundreds and thousands and millions of views, and I'm all excited when I have 100. It's the frustration, I guess you could say, of YouTube. It's really the one outlet that I have now that I really enjoy though the most, because it's fun to do, it's fun to produce and put together. And yeah, I do a lot of the videos off of my phone. I do have some production equipment that I use. But if you really want to get into mental health and mental illness, and you want to make a difference, just realize that you're doing it from the goodness of your heart, and you're going to have a lot of frustrations, and it's all right. A lot of people struggle. A lot of people struggle with depression. A lot of people struggle with anxiety. It's all right too. You're not alone. You see so many other people out there, and it looks like their life is perfect. And I've been there before. I mean, life was great, and amazing thing about addiction is just was able to destroy it all. Allowed my depression, anxiety to get the best of me. Allowed me not to really give a crap and just take it all down. Yeah, just everything that I've been through and the frustrations that I've been through, of life that, we all have, it goes to show you you're not alone in it. Everybody has their own story, and that's what, makes, I think, doing like videos and sharing experiences so much fun. I'm at 327 subscribers, and each one of the subscribers out there, I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough for subscribing to my channel. It lets me know that it is appreciated what I do, and sharing about, just what it's like to be depressed. I mean, sometimes we wake up and it's just a bad day. Yeah, sometimes you're there and you're fine for a minute, and then anxiety hits, and we have an anxiety attack. It feels like we're having a heart attack, and we want to call 911 because we don't know what's happening, and we can't breathe, and the stress, it's life, and it's okay. Yeah, out of all the people that I talk to, it's amazing how many of us, we're not alone in these daily struggles, and just, you got to remember that you're not alone, and it's hard to do. Our brains are such amazing tools, they're such amazing computers. It's this creation that, unreal what it can do. And man, it can be our worst enemy, I tell you what. And when you're doing anything when it comes to mental illness, mental health, suicide awareness, sobriety and stuff, and they talk about triggers and being triggered, tell you what, I mean, the more energy and effort you put into it, you got to watch out, because that alone will trigger it. I mean, I've had days where, I'm all excited if I've gained 2 subscribers in one day, because this is the only way that I can measure what I do. it's not that I do this for a living, so I can't go, okay, I'm booked full of patients, or I've made X amount of money, or whatever it is. And so the only way that I have it now that I can really um, take a look and see of, okay, what kind of difference am I making, what kind of impact am I making, is by, how many subscribers do I have. It makes me know that, hey, this is important and it matters. I mean, I'm ADHD. I deal with PTSD. I mean, I went into my dad's car after he committed suicide, and it was not something that I would wish anybody to walk in onto. I do understand why officers and people do get PTSD from different things. It's difficult because those images are burned into your head. The smells, the just everything is burned into your head. I've dealt with depression many times, and I've dealt with a lot of highs and a lot of good times and a lot of happy times and a lot of low times. Just sharing them on a platform like this, though, it is therapy. I will say that. So, if you're new and you want to start a YouTube channel, I definitely suggest doing it, because it is therapeutic. But just remember, man, if you're trying to grow a channel, that alone is a challenge. Trying to gain a subscriber is a challenge. Trying to get your message across is a challenge. And just do it from the heart, man. Just that you care. I mean, I'm going to start getting to the point that I want to try and get a video up every day, just so that I can share my day with you of what it's like when you're helping people and what people go through, to remind you that you're not alone. I mean, today alone, I've talked with 3 different people on depression. I talked with one that wanted to kill themselves and that self-harmed last night. I've dealt with 2 people right now with sobriety. And that's just today, and this becomes a daily thing for me. I mean, I didn't expect this to grow into what it has. So I will tell you this: like, I put my phone number out there for people to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk to you, but it's not something I suggest everybody does, because you have to be prepared for it. I will say this: I mean, as dumb as it sounds, I scored really low on a lot of different managers' tests, because I've been a manager in sales for a very long time, and I've scored very low many times on empathy. And empathy is caring about somebody else. And don't get me wrong, I really care about other people a lot. But I've had a lack of empathy, because I'm very black and white, and it allows me not to take on other people's problems, which you have to be able to do if you're helping out with mental health. You can't take on the problems that other people are going through, because you got to remember, you can only control the controllable and change the changeable. Just like with this channel, I mean, I've driven myself insane over trying to grow it and trying to turn it into something special. And there's days that I want to give up, but then I got to remember that I'll get a message on Twitter, I'll get a message through Facebook saying, hey, you make a difference. And that's really what the biggest reward in everything is that of knowing, hey, I made a difference in somebody's life. That's pretty awesome. It's not something that everyone can say they did. And so I work it in between my job and in between my work. Just like right now, I'm at Home Depot, and I'm getting some pliers to go take care of my plumbing issue of a sink that I clogged, because I was the intelligent one that put down potato peels in the garbage disposal. And I can't really blame that on my wife, because I did it and she washed me. So, but I mean, in between this and Home Depot, I'm going to be responding back to some of my messages of people, that are going through things. So just doing it out of the goodness of your heart. I mean, you don't need a degree in anything. You don't need a college education to help out another human being. You don't need any of that. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a reason for psychiatrists, psychologists. They do success coaches, and they do, all this other stuff. That there's a reasoning behind it, and if you just want to make a difference in somebody else's life, you can. It just comes down to the willingness of wanting to, and also knowing what you're chewing off. I didn't realize when I would do this that I would have 20 plus people a day reaching out just for support, just wanting to have a friend, just wanting somebody to talk to. I'll tell you what, it's made my life a lot less lonelier. And not that my life is lonely, but I mean, I've always been on a retail side of dealing with people and working with people, and I've gotten to see the ugly side of people. Just being in sales and stuff. I mean, you're lied to constantly. You're judged because you're in sales, that you're a shark, and you're just all this crap. that is really funny. I mean, I still get that. And then all of a sudden when I tell them what I do and my passion for mental health and sobriety, suicide awareness, and that I lost, my wife, my father to suicide, and that I want to make a change, that I work with schools on bringing awareness. If they find that out first and then they find out I'm a salesperson, then it's all, oh, wow, you're amazing, that's awesome. And if I tell them about me being in sales first and they find me while I'm working and then I go into that, it kind of is like a shock to their system. Like, what do you mean? Like, where's the scam in this one? It's like, but that's how people are, and you got to realize it. You got to realize too that when you are helping other people, how skeptical, people are in general of just actually finding help and having having real help. And make sure you know what you're talking about when you're helping people, because I'll have these people that will talk to me, and it's only goes so far just to let them know, hey, you're not alone and I support you, and that's huge, and it's great to have those words of encouragement. But also be able to, help refer people to certain resources, whether it be AA or whether it be NAMI, or whether it be, hey, this is how you bring this up with your psychiatrist or your psychologist, and here's the difference between the two, because one could prescribe drugs and the other one will provide you more real life tools to use. It's about having that accountability. Make sure that you know what you're talking about, and that you've experienced it, because people will smell fake. If you haven't been through this shit, trust me, somebody who's been through it knows somebody who's faking it a little bit. And if you want to help somebody out, just find out what you really want to help them out in. I've talked with people who are with DID, which is a personality disorder, BPD, bipolarism. I'm not any of those. So for me to be able to relate is very difficult. I mean, I'll give them support. I'll refer them to people that I know are very big into it and suffer from it and are active in the community. And, handing people off to those resources is important, because, I've Googled so many things when it comes into stuff of life that it's a cluster out there on the internet trying to find the resources of what's actually current and what's not. And, if you find somebody who's very active in that community, they can tell you what's really current and what's not current, and ways to help, and different treatments out there. I'm ADHD, and there's different types of medication out there that, when I was growing up, it was pretty much Ritalin. And, Adderall is my preferred medication for it, but there are other ones out there. With sobriety, getting into AA and what that's about, it's just sharing it all from the heart, and being real, and just, God, no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. And if you're trying to build something out of it, I've done sales for just so long, and I wanted to do something because of my sobriety. My sobriety depended on me being active in something, and it depended on me doing something, besides just work, because that's what I've done so much of my life. 38 years old, but I can tell you this, I know what it's like to work 90 days straight. I know what it's like to work 120 days straight without a day off, from starting a sales meeting at 8:30 a.m. and leaving the dealership at 9:30, 10. It's costed me a lot of marriages. I've been married 4 times, and it is not these other people's fault. And don't get me wrong, I'm a salesperson too. I know how to be charming, and I know how to talk, and I let work control me, though, because for the longest time I thought the rewards were the paychecks, where later on in life I've learned now that the rewards aren't just helping somebody. And that's why I'm glad I got really passionate about this, and the passion hasn't faded. I started this back in April, where I really started to say, hey, this is what I want to do, and it's grown ever since, and I make sure that I'm active in it ever since. And every day, just talking to people about it, and letting them know they're not alone, and giving them the resources or tools and where to go and what to try. Even when it comes down to, the new thing out right now is the weighted blanket, and I think that's an awesome tool, because if you haven't got one yet, I'm going to do my review on it, because it's comforting. There is such thing as compression therapy. Have your dog lean on you and lay on you. It does major things for you if you're having a hard day. It's warm, it's compassionate. My dog's huge. My dog's 80 pounds, and he just loves to just get up and love on me, and on a hard day, it makes a huge difference. So, if you're out there and you're doing this for mental health, and you want to know what avenues to do, just make sure that you're doing it for fun. If you're not a doctor, is my biggest suggestion, because you do have to pay the bills, and it does add up to stress, and it's built a lot of stress up before on me, because I've gotten too passionate with this sometimes that my work has suffered from it. And that's the last thing that really want to do is if you can't take care of your personal life, you can't help other people out. So make sure you're taking care of yourself when you're out helping other people, and it's great. Just show them the passion, show them the love, and don't get frustrated with different things. Don't get frustrated that somebody only read your blog 5 times, or that nobody commented on a blog that you posted, or that you create a YouTube channel and you only have 30 views or 5 views or 1 view on a video. Don't get frustrated that you have 50 subscribers and that's all it is. It takes time, and it will grow, and people will believe in you and believe in the mission that you have and believe in what you stand for and want to hang out with you every day and want to watch your videos because they want to be a part of it. That's what it's about, being a part of each other's lives. And man, the biggest one with me is just knowing that we're not alone. So hey, I appreciate you watching this. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, click the like and subscribe button. It means the world to me. This is how I know that I'm doing a good job, and that what I do is appreciated, just because it's the only way that I can actually physically see it. And have an amazing day. And if you need some support, if you're struggling, just reach out. I have videos out there where my phone number's out there. Just call me, text me. It's all right. You're not alone. So I hope that you have an amazing rest of the day. Check out the rest of our videos. Again, if you like what I do and you think it's worthwhile, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate each one of you. And you know what? Together we can do this.